What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Slasher Theory. Here, we're here to talking. Hold on, I gotta fix my hair. We're here going to talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer season one, the entire season all together in one little live stream where I can communicate with you guys about your favorite episodes, moments, and everything in the season. And and then at the end of the video, or probably not at the end, but during the video, I'll be giving my rankings of each of the episodes, and then and kind of go into more detail on each of the episodes, just to kind of explore them more and talk about them more, and then get to your guys' opinions on it and stuff like that. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the first season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And as we do, I'm going to start off by saying that this season of Buffy was very, very good. I mean, it was, how can I say it, but it was a very interesting season. There was a lot of good episodes this season and a lot of all right episodes, and then a few, couple bad ones that I didn't really care too much about, and they just didn't really do much for me or anything like that. But I do have a favorite episode this season, to be precise. It was hard to kind of come up with the rankings for each episodes and kind to figure out which one was better than which, because some of them were just kind of good and kind of together. But after some thought and stuff, definitely, I have figured out that I have found out that how to really say and do with that. Um, So I have the rankings from the 12th place all the way to the first place figured out. So I can't wait to kind of dive into that stuff. But uh, there's a lot of character development that we had this season. Like we had a lot of stuff with Xander and Willow and Buffy. Some things with Joyce. Some things with Giles, and some things with Angel. And yeah, it's just, and it was very good, very good. With Buffy, she started off with not really wanting to do anything too much with the slasher duties and stuff, slasher duties, but the Slayer duties and stuff. She really didn't want anything to do with it. It was kind of she kind of kind of ran off from LA to Sunnydale because she burned down a gym and trying to kind of get away from the Slayer duties and stuff because it got her in a lot of trouble. But unfortunately, it didn't, especially when she met her new watcher, who kind of just threw a book in front of her face, which was wasn't expecting to happen. And when she met Giles for the first time, and it was a good little scene between them. And then through the season, she helped out many people. I mean, she took down a witch. She helped Xander out when she got possessed by hyenas. They took down a praying mantis monster, an invisible girl. Eventually, finally, took down the master this season. Like, for someone who didn't really want anything to do with being a vampire slayer, and she really went all in and kind of helped the people, used her powers, and did it. And then she eventually expressed her slayer duties and killed the master and became the slayer that she was meant to be. So there's a lot of things that happened that hopefully it leads up to see in season two to be very good. And I can't wait to see how the next season plays out. And we should have a full season next on season two. I think it's 22 episodes, so there should be a lot more character development and story impact happening. This season was kind of rushed since it was only 12 episodes, but they did good with what they had. Xander, he had a lot of character development with him falling in love with Buffy, and and kind of was not really falling in love, but like simping. He was simping for Buffy, and Buffy didn't have the same feelings for him. But I think Buffy found out Xander's feelings for him back in episode 6 when he was possessed because he kind of told her in a way, but didn't remember. But he did remember everything he did when he was possessed. Um, and then we have Willow who uh, liked Xander, and we found out about how they used to date when they were kids until he stole a Barbie doll from her, and then they broke up. And Will still had the feelings for him and wanted to be with him and stuff, but Xander didn't like Willow that way or see Willow that way because he was too focused on Buffy, which then, of course, he tried to ask Buffy out eventually and got turned down. And then he kind of said some things he shouldn't have said, but I mean, I don't know. You really don't know what someone thinks whenever rejection happens. And I mean, I felt bad for Xander when he got turned down because I mean, I know how that feels. It sucks. Um, but some of the stuff he said he shouldn't have said, and I will take that and I add to my grave. I think he owes Buffy an extreme apology, and that he should apologize to her. And but I don't see it ever happening. I don't think we're ever gonna actually get that apology. Maybe we will in the first episode, second season. I don't know, but I'm hoping so. That would be great kind of little impact. And then we had Cordelia, who at the start of the season I really didn't care for because she was kind of like this bully girl who kind of made fun of Willow, Buffy, and did everything in her power to kind of make Buffy look bad and everything by saying how crazy she was because she attacked her at the Bronze, which a lot of things happen at the Bronze, a lot of things. And then we had her eventually, I guess somehow she found out somewhere Buffy's secret. I don't know, because people in the comments were saying that they kind of explained it to Cordelia, like, in between the episodes and stuff, especially after the harvest and the Invisible Woman, which kinda makes sense, I guess, but I wish they would've shown that on film, like, actually showing that interaction where Cordelia actually finally found out that Buffy was a vampire slayer. It would have been a very interesting take on it for sure, and it sucks that it didn't happen that way at all. Um, and I just wish we would have got that. Then we had Giles, who had um, who became the Watcher of Buffy, and as he became the Watcher, he tried to train Buffy, and he had a fear that Buffy he wasn't going to do a good job, and Buffy was going to end up dead. And he helped out. He was a good researcher. He helped research the things. He kind of taught Willow how to start researching in some things with and Xander because they can't really do much else. Um, but Xander really pulled his weight, especially in the last episode when he got Angel and took Angel and went to go save Buffy. That was good on him. Um, Joyce, we had Joyce, and with Joyce, and it was definitely something. We had only a few scenes with her. We didn't really have much character development of her. I mean, we know that she works at a museum for on the weekends and stuff. So she doesn't ever really spend time with her daughter during the weekends. So she doesn't really get to see her daughter much during the weekdays because the fact she's at work and Buffy's at school, and on the weekends she works. So it's like, when do you ever have time with your daughter? At nighttime? But Joyce had a good few moments with Buffy, a few good talks. Mother-daughter talks. Buffy tried to get Joyce to go on a away trip because Buffy was scared she was going to die in the last episode, and tried to get Joyce to go onto a road trip with her. But Joyce was like, I work on weekends, and it's like, wow, way to put your job before your own family. Like, if I had a kid that was like, hey, let's go away this weekend, I would try everything in my power to make that happen. But and if it didn't work, it didn't work. But at least I would know that I tried, and instead of just telling my kid flat out, like, oh, I work on the weekends. This ain't happening. Like, come on. Like, You see Buffy is sitting there literally crying on the bed. When she turned her head, at, you see the tear like in her eye, and it's like and Joyce like she thought it was because of a boy, like because the boy that she wanted didn't ask her out, so it was or ask her to the dance because it was Xander, and she didn't want Xander to ask. She wanted Angel to ask, and she got. And Joyce thought that's what was wrong, but it was that what was actually wrong was that she found out she was gonna die. Um, Angel, in Angel this episode, there wasn't really much of him this season, which I'm kind of disappointed on. I like David, and I like the character Angel, um, and I wish that there was more scenes with him, that he did more. I mean, he did show up and warn Buffy a few times, and then in the last episode he kind of saved Buffy with Xander, and but that was really it. Really, I mean, kind of got some. I mean, he did save Giles and Xander and Willow in the boiler room with the Invisible Girl episode, and that was a good scene. Don't get me wrong, I do like that scene, and but I wish definitely was more. I wish there was more stuff with Angel. I wish there was more stuff with Joyce. Cordelia, I could have used a little less this season. I didn't really care for the whole her bullying and stuff, and then the interactions that she had. I mean, the last two episodes, the Invisible Girl episode and the last episode, kind of has made me like Cordelia a little bit more than what I did. See her in a whole new light and stuff. Because in the last episode, Cordelia wasn't like Cordelia. She was like trying to be friends. Like she was talking to Willow and Buffy, and she helped them and saved them in the car and stuff. Like it was definitely very interesting to see Cordelia in a new light, especially in the last episode. Um, but yeah, I mean, hey Susan, how you doing? Um, but yeah, definitely this season was, like I said, very interesting season. And I like some of the creatures that we had this season. I like the puppet. I mean, even though he wasn't a monster, but the puppet Sid, he made me laugh a lot, man. I really loved seeing Sid. I was disappointed when Sid actually died and he wasn't in he wouldn't be any more episodes because of the fact he did die and he won't be coming back. Which I feel like I wish that they just would have like turned him back into a human, kind of like a Prince moment, but fortunately, that didn't happen. I think it would have been a good having a demon hunter on their side would have helped out in a lot of situations, especially with demons. If Buffy go against any more demons in the future, it would definitely have helped out. Um, I liked the Master was pretty good villain of this first season. I think I mean, I wish there was definitely a little bit more stuff with the Master. I mean, we did get some scenes, especially with the Anointed One and stuff. I mean, they kind of sprinkled in some episodes some things with the Master. But and then of course we had him in the second episode and last episode. That was when it was mostly focused on him. Some of the episodes kind of like sprinkled a little bit on it, especially the fifth episode with the Anointed One coming in, and then uh, the Nightmare episode, which I think was the 10th episode, uh, was the Master showing up and kind of tormenting Buffy and her like nightmare dreamscape reality of whatever was going on there, and was talking to the Anointed One, which was, by far pretty interesting. There was the demon, um, Moloch, I think his name was Moloch Moloch the Corruptor. He he was pretty cool. I did like him a little bit. I thought it was kind of weird that he put him as a a robot, as you can say. Uh, the robot aspect kind of I was weird. I mean, the whole AI, not AI, but the whole like internet thing. I mean, I liked how they kind of put the internet into the episode because back then the internet was just kind of becoming a thing, and it was people were getting computers a lot and traveling the internet a lot and doing stuff, especially with yeah, Yahoo Mail uh, and a bunch of other sites. I can't remember every single one. I was like a kid, but I know MySpace was one. Uh, my parents had one of those, but yeah, I mean, the computer's becoming a thing. So I liked how they used the internet to kind of put a demon into it, and eventually got a robot body. And in the robot body, he kind of tormented Willow and Buffy fought him, and then eventually, when he when Buffy was fighting him, the Warlock punched the electrical box, and then he exploded, which was probably like the best thing in the season, or not season, but that episode. It was a pretty cool moment, I would think. And I didn't really, and the witch. Oh yeah, the witch. I almost forgot about the witch. I did like the witch. Um, that one was definitely she was I that episode surprised me probably a lot more than any episode this season, because it kind of made me look one way when it was actually going another, and I kind of guessed it was the mother at one point, but I got it wrong. I thought I had it wrong when it turned out to be the daughter, and then I turned out that I was right when the daughter was actually the mom, and it was like a whole mind like screw that they try to do with you. It just I really liked that as that I kind of like. I hope more Buffy episodes are like that. They kind of trick you a little bit because that definitely was pretty cool. And I did enjoy it. Um, I didn't care for the praying. I didn't care for the praying mantis too much. Uh, the hyenas. The hyenas were pretty good. I did like the hyenas, uh, especially possessing Xander and the other school bullies. And then they went around and tried to kind of acting like hyenas. They ate a pig and killed the principal, and yeah, I think that was a good aspect. I wish they kind of played with it a little bit more, but especially since the bullies ate the principal, they should have kind of like lost their souls or something. I think it would have been kind of interesting that they couldn't actually be saved because they ate somebody and Xander didn't. Like there should have been some kind of consequence to that, but there wasn't. Um, the only consequence we got is the principal died and a new principal came in who's a little bit more stricter the uh, than the other principal. I can't remember what the other principal's name is now. Uh, and trying to remember all the villains that happened. Oh, that's good, Susan. I'm glad you're doing well. Is there anything in the episode season episodes? Any villains you liked? What about the character dynamics and stuff during the season? What did you like of those? Um, but yeah, with the that being said, I think we're gonna just dive into start to talk about each episode. So episode one was Welcome to the Hellmouth is I think it was called Welcome to the Hellmouth. That episode was pretty good. It was a good introduction into the series and the season in general. You had, like I said, they brought in the Master, brought in uh, Buffy, Willow, Xander, Giles, and Cordelia. Which Cordelia turned out to kind of try to help Buffy out, trying to get her into the popular crowd and get her not to get have her be friends with Xander and Willow because they're losers in her book, and she wanted Buffy to kind of be join in with the popular crowd, and that didn't quite happen like that because eventually Buffy saw through Cordelia and saw that she was, especially when she Cordelia bullied Willow at the water fountain. Buffy didn't like that at all, so Buffy decided to talk to Willow and become friends with Willow, and then this episode was also the episode where Xander found out Buffy was the vampire slayer, and he didn't believe it at once because he heard Giles overhearing it, talking to Buffy about it, and which I found kind of like kind of weird. Like, how did he not know that Xander was in the library? Did he not see him come in the library? I mean, you would think that Xander would have came in the library, had to ask him, like, where the specific books and stuff that he wanted to read was at. Unless Xander just knew where they're at, I don't know, but you think that Giles would still know that Xander was in there. But the fact that he didn't was kind of a little crazy to me, I think. Unless he was like in the stacks or whatever when Xander came in and went to go look in the books and so, he didn't see him. I guess that could have been an option. Um I love Schneider. I love Schneider the Great. Armin Shimmerman, aka Cork, nails the character of the harsh principal. I too enjoyed the hyenas as it was both disturbing and grossly funny. Yeah, I mean the hyenas was definitely disturbing and grossly fun. It's a very fun episode altogether. And yeah, Schneider, Principal Schneider, yeah, he was definitely he definitely nailed the harsh principal role that he was trying to that he had the role to be for sure. And I don't know why my chat's not actually refreshing on here. Oh, but yeah, and I mean, Principal Schneider was he was he was likable. He was actually more likable than the other principal, I think. I mean, even though he was harsh, I actually did enjoy him a lot better than the other one because I mean, the other one was just tormenting Buffy, like kept bringing up her being expelled from her last school, like the entire time that that principal was in the picture. For the first 6 episodes, he kept tormenting Buffy with the fact that she got expelled from her previous school. So he kept bringing that up and throwing it into her face every single time, and I was like, "Okay, this is kind of getting redundant and old, like, stop." But I like how the new principal, he hasn't even brought that up at all, which is kind of I like, and they kinda stopped bringing it up in general, so, yeah. Uh, but yeah, also in episode 1, we had, the Master got introduced, and we met, Luke, Delilah, and a few other vampires. And who were trying to free the master. They actually Luke is the one that kind of rose the master back out of this blood pool, which was interesting. Um, add in you are all of us the first time we watched which they had us guess in every direction, then second guessing ourselves, then finding out we were kind of sort of right, but not right. That the witch episode, man, it was I bet you it tricked everybody who watched it the first time around, cause they kind of at first, you're like when the, daughter is talking about her mother, y and how, like, she's how forceful she is to make her, like, eat, trying to, like, so she doesn't get fat or anything like that, and try to go into being a cheerleader and stuff like that, and try to add that pressure onto her because she was a cheerleader. You're like and then she's not becoming the cheerleader that she needs to be, and then you're seeing someone casting spells and stuff, and you're taking out the other cheerleaders in the squad, and it's like, it has to be the mother. Like, the mother wants her daughter in the squad, so she's gonna make sure it happens. And then it turns around that it actually wasn't the mother was actually the daughter, and the daughter was actually the mother. That whole twist, and then you're like well, at first when you find out that before you even find that out, you find out it's, the girl, and I can't remember the girl's name right now, it's blanking on me. But, I think it's Amy. I think it's Amy. Am I right? Amy? But she, um, losing my train of thought now. But when we found out that it was actually Amy that was the witch, when the liquid got poured on her arm and stuff, it was crazy. I was like, "Holy crap, it's actually her." And then but it turned out that it wasn't, it was the mother. And it was whacked. The episode was whacked, and I mean, it was very interesting, which is why it's in my top 5, I think, right? Did I put it in my top 5? Hold on. What did I do with my thing? Actually, it's not my top 5, but it did make it. It was in my top 5 for a while, but then I think it dropped when I got into the second half of the season. Yeah, Amy. Yeah, okay. I got the name right. Woohoo! It's been a while since we saw her, so the name of her kind of, like, dropped out of my memory for a second. Uh, I hope we see her again more because I really liked Amy's character, and I really hope that she comes up again. And if not, I think that's kind of a wasted potential. Because I mean, she could I see her could help out Buffy eventually in the future. Maybe she takes up witchcraft and uses the witchcraft to help Buffy out, which that would be very interesting to see. Which I doubt that because Amy didn't really like the witchcraft that happened to her with her mother, so I doubt she'll do anything with it. But it would be interesting to see, and I don't think we'll ever see her again. But I hope we do. Um, but yeah, the first episode's when we met and Luke. What else can I say? Oh yeah, the bronze. This is when they first introduced the bronze, I believe, with Cordelia, I think, talking. Or is that the second episode? I think I'm getting the episodes mixed up. But the fact that they bring up the bronze a lot this season is kind of whacked because I mean it's like a central point. It's like everything happens there. Like you had some things that happened at the school, and I like how the last episode didn't play into like the stuff happening at the bronze, and my camera is like for some reason way up. Mouse, you won't get this emoji yet. Wink face. Well, yeah, I don't know what that means, but I can't wait to find out, Susan. It definitely would be fun to find out. I can't wait. That's kind of interesting. Wonder what that's all about. Um, but a lot of things happen at the Bronx, and a little bit of stuff happens at the school. Like we had the Invisible Woman at the school. We had the hyena stuff at the school. We had the last episode take place at the school. But most of the other stuff happened at the Bronze. Even kind of the hyena stuff happened at the Bronze with Xander coming in and talking to Buffy and Willow under the possession of the hyenas, talking pretty badly about it and stuff, about the food and stuff that they eat because he was like, "I need food, and this crap ain't food," and stuff, and which which I which I which in the last in the the season finale episode, you kinda got that vibe from Xander. He was possessed by the hyena again, especially, how he treated Buffy in that episode when he got rejected and stuff. It's kinda like I didn't even think about it, but it's like, did he get possessed again? Because he kind of acted that way again, like, and a bad Xander, which I guess I don't the hyena possession, I guess it just took out the alpha. I don't know what really did. I don't know if he got truly possessed or if it like brought out the like the alpha in him or whatever you know what I mean? Kind because it kind of happened in the last episode too when that happened with Buffy. So I don't really know. That one was kind of whacked. And when you think about it, it's just like didn't really think about it until now. um Uh, and yeah, I liked how. Oh yeah, the bronze was introduced in the first episode because of the fact of Willow. Buffy was there, and Willow was there, and Willow found a guy because Giles was talking to Buffy about having to. She's a Slayer, and she should happen to like look at somebody and know they're a vampire or not. And she just looked at this random guy and was like, "That's a vampire." And then you didn't know who the girl was at first until she turned around, and then you see that it was Willow. And man, it was definitely a blast to see that. And then that's when Xander kind of when Buffy left the bronze and Xander kind of followed and kind of met with Buffy outside and Xander officially told Buffy that, what are you gonna do? You have to slay him or whatever." And then when he found out, when he told her that he knew that she was a Slayer technically, that whole scene. And then when then the I can't. And then when he finds out that what she is actually a Slayer and vampires are real, this is actually a life and death situation. He kind of joins Buffy and helps out and finds out the vampires are definitely real. And they go to the the, the graveyard and they fight, you know, Delilah and this random other vampire and who dies and she saves Willow. Xander comes in, Delilah comes in, and she's facing off against Delilah, and then Luke comes up behind her, knocks her out. The other people run out, and then they get caught by the other vampires outside in the graveyard, which was very interesting. And then and you also got the introduction to Jesse too. I almost forgot about Jesse. Jesse was one of my favorite characters this season too, and I almost forgot about him. Man, I really loved Jesse. I wish they would have liked. I wish they would have used. I wish he was in more episodes. Like I wish they didn't kill him off so soon. Like I wish he didn't wasn't turned into a vampire in the second episode. I wish that he could have like played a while in the season. I mean, I get like maybe halfway through the season or maybe in the season finale he would have died, maybe got turned into a vampire then and then died. But I wish he was like the season regular cast member to kind of help out with some of the stuff that was happening. Because him and Xander are like best friends, so it would have definitely been interesting to see. Um, and the second episodes with the harvest, that one was all right. It had a lot to do with them trying to get Luke trying to free the master. He becomes like this vessel for the master, and as he does, goes to the bronze and tries to drink as much blood as he possibly can. And of course, that doesn't work out because Buffy stops him, and the master didn't like it. Uh, and we had Jesse in this episode who got turned into a vampire, which we didn't know, and then he got Xander killed him, which it was an accidental death. Xander wasn't trying to kill him. It's just someone hit him in the shoulder and knocked him into this stake, which killed him, which was kind of lame. Like I said, I just Eric before guys, but completely just said his name wrong. But Eric, he's like one of my favorite actors, like since Haven, and I don't know. I wish they just would have utilized him more. I get he was a side character, but I don't know. I wish it just was better. How about you, Susan? What did you think about Jesse? Did you like Jesse? And we had uh I don't think Delilah showed up this episode. We had Angel show up this episode and kind of told Buffy about the harvest. Was saying like the harvest is coming and yada yada yada. And Buffy's like, I already know about it. And then we also had Xander meet uh see Angel this episode, and then he kind of got a little jealous. I think Xander saw him this episode. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. And it was so long ago, I can't remember everything that precisely happened. Uh, I think I got the episodes mixed up there. I don't think Xander met him this episode. I like Jesse. He became the episode one sacrifice to the just sweeting God. Yeah, yeah, he did. And I just I don't know how Jesse got turned into a vampire though. Like I get that Delilah like bit him in the neck because she got hungry, but did she like force him to drink from her? Because we know from the first episode that it was like a whole sucking thing from Buffy. Because she said, you know, vampire has to drink your blood, you have to drink their blood. It's like a whole sucking thing. And So we know from that, and we know Delilah, she bit him and drunk from him, but did she force him to drink from her? Because we didn't see blood on his mouth or anything, and you would think that he would have said something like, "Oh, she made me drink blood," or whatever, but he didn't. Or did when he got taken to the master in the second episode, did the master turn him? Since he already got bit and stuff, did the master just give him his blood to drink from? Like I don't know how Jesse got turned. I was kind of confused about that. I don't know if I really talked about that much during that reaction video, but I do know I was confused about that for sure. Um, but yeah, the second episode was all right. Third one with the witch was pretty good. We had like I said, that one was the confusing mind fest, which I kind of already talked about some with. Um, and the fact that the girl caught on fire in the gym in front of everybody and nobody really questioned it. They just thought it was spontaneous combustion and that was it. And then you had other things happening that was weird in that episode. Like someone's mouth was completely removed during class at one point. That's when Buffy found out that, the Amy was the witch and that girl's mouth was completely gone. And then Cordelia, going blind. You think people would question some weird stuff, but no one really questioned anything weird happening. Um, okay, Jesse was bitten by Darla, but not enough to kill him. Afterwards, he was. Okay, okay. Jesse was bitten by Darla, not enough to kill him. Afterwards, he was brought to the Master. We we can assume that the Master finished him off and turned him by forcing his blood on Jesse. All that to set up the bait situation, and at least that is my thought. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with that, Susan. I mean, I guess that would make sense that Jesse, since he got bitten by Darla, not enough to kill him, of course, because he was supposed to be a sacrifice to the Master, and but the Master didn't want to drink from him because of the fact it was like scrap to him. Because he even said to Darla, like, "You treat me like a dog," which I thought he wanted to kill Darla in that situation, but he didn't. I guess he looked at her as a daughter or something. But yeah, and since the fact it was like scraps to him, he didn't want to finish it off, so he just turned him into a vampire. So I'm guessing he kind of just cut and forced his blood on Jesse. I kind of wish they would have shown that scene, but I guess that they would have shown and we would have known that it was a trap. And they wanted us to kind of be surprised by it. Also, I guess. So I get it, and I agree. I think that's probably what happened. That's probably what the thought was going into it. Um, but yeah, in the third one, you think of all that weird stuff that was happening in the school, people were to question like, what the heck is going on here? But no one questioned anything. Not even Cordelia. She saw like a couple weird things happen and nothing. Like she went blind and then had her vision back and nothing. And it was just weird how no one questioned anything. But it was definitely cool. Some of that stuff was cool. Um, the fourth episode, whew, that's the rough one. That one is definitely rough to talk about. That's the praying mantis, the teacher's pet episode, and that one is just, oh man. I liked the episodes a little bit, not really as much as I thought I would. 'cause actually having all this time to think about it and stuff now, it didn't sit right with me in like a good way, like being a good episode. I mean, the praying mantis thing was alright. I mean, I didn't really like the episode, and then they showed the eggs at the end, which you would think it would lead into something else in the season, but it didn't. And I don't know if the eggs in the classroom ever even came up again, or if it ever will. Like, I think it's kind of a loose end they left, and then they're never even gonna bring it up again, which just kind of sucks. Um, yeah, ugh, the praying mantis. Yeah, yeah, the praying mantis. It was it was a weird episode. Like, it was probably the weirdest episode in this season in general because, I mean, you you think about it, having a praying mantis monster trying to seduce kids, teenagers in general, to, you know, make eggs and then kill them like she did with Xander. I mean, she abducted Xander and man, not the best episode, but classic monster of the week stuff. Yeah, yeah, it was definitely classic monster of the week stuff. Very well known actress from Australia in sci-fi circles. I didn't recognize the actress to be honest. I don't think I ever seen her in anything else. But if she's from Australia, that's interesting to know. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw her in any other movie. 'Cause I didn't recognize her at all. Um, and then she abducted Cordelia, not Cordelia's, but the other um the playboy I call him because of the fact like thought he was better than Xander and tried to get women and stuff, and especially when he tried to outbeat Xander getting to the teacher and stuff first, which he found out that was his worst mistake ever. Because I think he actually got, you know, he did the deed with with the praying mantis. Uh, like he actually went through with it, and gosh, I just the whole seduction thing of that episode was just a weird. I mean, back then, the teachers seducing kids and stuff, I don't think it was a big thing like it is nowadays. Like, if it happens nowadays, it would be all over the internet. Everybody would be, like, going crazy over it and everything. Back in 96, 97, when this season came out, 95, whatever, uh, I don't think it was talked about much, like, because internet wasn't really a thing. Yeah, his dad is gonna sue anyone that spills that he is a virgin. Oh, yeah. The fact because he was gonna get seduced because the fact she only went after virgins, and then he his talk about how he got all these women and stuff, and then find out that he was actually a virgin, he never actually had sex was funny. Oh, man. And then he was like, "I'm gonna sue if anyone ever mentions this to anybody." And then we never see him again, so who knows? Maybe he transferred schools. Maybe he's like, "This is too weird. Dad, get me out of here." And, he, oh, man. Xander. And Willow didn't even believe I don't think Willow even believes Xander was a virgin, because Willow was kinda, like, shocked by it, like, "What?" So, I don't know. It was a weird episode. So, I mean, the actress, I mean, don't get me wrong, she is pretty. She's very pretty. I mean, if I was Xander, I probably would've also been like, "Holy crap." But I don't think I would ever try to I would never have gone to their house. Like, a teacher asking you to go to their house is kind of against school policies. Even back then, I think it was. I'm not really for sure on that, but I know nowadays that's definitely a no-no. So, but if I was living back then, if I was Xander and a teacher would have said, "Hey, come to my house after school," and she's kinda talking to me in that seductive way, I would've been like, "I think I'm good." The Mantis costume was reused from Babylon 5. Was it really? That is, that's interesting to know. I've seen Babylon 5 when well, a very long time ago. I did not know it was the same costume. That's interesting. Nice to know, Susan, thank you. Uh, but yeah, I don't really have much else to say about that episode. It was just a weird episode in general, and it just yeah. Willow totally knew, hence he's probably going to die. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because in the library when they talked about virgins and stuff. Yeah, okay, yeah, because she did say that he's going to die, and she kind of got up and left. That's when we found out that she was definitely, like, she had those feelings for Xander still. She was kinda, because that episode, she kind of went a lot of kind of crazy and a little bit of obsessive of making sure he was okay and stuff like that, and when he went missing, she kinda freaked out and stuff, and we kinda got that's when we started getting the hints that she still kinda had feelings for him. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, media. Nice reminder on that 'cause I totally forgot about that. Oh, yeah, it was a no-no. It was a no-no that the series used monsters to reflect real-life situations, and imagining of teens is a really interesting second layer of death. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because back when this show first came out, I was just a baby. I mean, I was born in '96, so I don't really know much about the '90s too much of what was actually allowed and what wasn't. So when I watch shows from back then and I see this stuff, I'm like, that's not allowed nowadays. That's not allowed. Like, was this a thing back then? But yeah, okay, it's nice that it was a no-no back then too. Cool. Um, episode 5. uh, episode 5, I think, was the worst episode in the season. Uh, I hated the episode. I don't know why. I didn't care for it too much. I think I've got 32 years on you. Yeah. Yeah, you probably do, Susan. I don't know. But, yeah. Oh, wow, 32 years. Then that would put you in your, C, 'cause 'cause in a few months, I'll be turning 30. I turned 30 this year. So, if you're 32 years on me, I don't even wanna think about that. Wow. Hey, just think about this. You're not old. You're still young. Um, but, yeah, episode 5 is just I didn't care for the boyfriend aspect of it. Like, Cordelia and Buffy fighting over a boy was insane. Um, and then Cordelia thought she had eyes for Angel, and then Angel going to Buffy, and Cordelia's like, "What is wrong with me?" and stuff. It was just yeah, yeah, you're a very young 62. Yep, that's still young, very young. If you think about it, you're actually just turning 26 this year. So, um, but the but I mean, I guess the boyfriend, like the aspect of Buffy trying to date this guy, and I guess her finding out that she can't really have a normal life and date because of her Slayer responsibilities is definitely a plus in this episode. It's what kind of made this episode a little bit good, I guess. Because I get what they were trying to do with it. It's just I didn't really like the whole aspect of the whole boyfriend thing, and then the boyfriend finding out that about the vampires, and then you never see him again at the end of the episode. Tell that to my body, my mind is still 25. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I know how that feels. I have I have arthritis in my feet and stuff, and my bones, they ache and stuff when it storms, like, my body feels like I'm, like I mean, I'll be turning 30, but my body feels like I'm turning, like, 70 because it just how achy and stuff my body gets. Especially right now, like, my back kinda aches a little bit. I think it's because there's a storm moving in. But, uh but yeah, and gosh, it's hard to really talk about this episode because it just didn't really put like, I can't really find anything really too great in this episode. I don't know. Am I just crazy? What did you guys in the chat? What did you guys think of episode 5? Am I just crazy? Am I just giving it too much crap, or is it? Or do you guys think it actually is probably one of the worst ones in the season? Um, um, I did like the how they had the anointed one in it. They kind of did show the anointed one a little bit. Um, Especially with the when they had the whole bus scene, which the bus scene was pretty good, and they took the one guy, uh, that was on the bus that was kind of talking about some kind of prophecy and how the fires of hell are gonna come and stuff like that, and he was just a crazy guy on a bus who I thought maybe was one of the vampires, the master that was just going to kill these people on the bus to kind of cause the harvest to happen or whatever, but, for the anointed one to rise. But it wasn't, it was just a kid that then we found out was a kid. But the guy that was crazy, they turned him into a vampire and put him in the funeral home, which the boyfriend did kinda fight, but he got knocked out by the vampire, and then he thought he was dead. Buffy thought he was dead, and then Buffy killed him. "Oh, dear hun, stay young in mind and spirit, the best years are yet to come." Yeah, yeah, I'm trying to stay young in mind and spirit. I definitely am. Oh, that's the boyfriend one. It was okay, but was mostly great regarding Buffy realizing that her life is not for everyone and shows her growing maturely and letting him go. Also, the anointed. That was the only thing that was good about this episode, though, was the anointed one. And Buffy kind of realizing that, her life isn't for everyone and she probably will never be able to have a normal life and date normally because of the fact she carries the secret. I think that, but yeah, that was the only thing I really cared about in this episode was that the anointed one was introduced. It was and pretty cool. Other than that, I really don't have much to really say about it. If I just keep talking about it, I'm just gonna crap on it more, and I don't wanna crap on anything. Uh, Episode 6, The Pact, is a is definitely a pretty good episode. I actually enjoyed that's the one with the hyenas too, and I really enjoyed that one a lot. The possession stuff was good. Xander kinda turning into the bad boy was good. Um And then you had the school bullies who was picking on this kid that Xander kind of stepped in to try to save. That's why he got possessed. And then you had yeah, the anointed serves a purpose. Yeah. The anointed have had a purpose, which is what I appreciated in in that episode. Is you kind of got that introduction to the anointed and kind of found out what his purpose was going to be and that Buffy was not going to know who the anointed was and that he was going to lead her into hell and all that. But when I heard that, I thought maybe the anointed was going to be able to like like was going to be more involved, like attacking people and stuff. And like Buffy was trying to figure out who the Anointed was, and she could never figure it out because she's not supposed to know. And the last episode with the Anointed, the fact that Buffy walked out and saw a random kid standing out there and instantly knew that that was the Anointed, even though they said it was a kid. That kid could have just been a lost kid outside that was literally just lost and trying to find. Children grow up, however, especially in Hollywood. Yeah, I mean, children do grow up. Yeah, you're right about that, Susan. Um, but yeah, with the last episode, the Anointed, but when Buffy walked out and instantly knew that this kid was the Anointed, I was like, she's not supposed to know. I thought so. It's like I know that they talked about in the library how they found out that the Anointed is a kid, and I guess she probably gets figured it kind of guess because it was dark outside, but that's kind of like that's kind of to me, that's like far-fetching. Like, it's kind of like they kind of rushed it a little bit there, even because you know, 12 episodes of the season, they're trying to wrap up the storyline for the season, and they kind of rushed that whole anointed thing. I wish the anointed thing was kind of, you know, during kind of through the entire season more, and I wish there was more episodes this season to kind of give the anointed one more um, light and shine. And I know with I know with child stars, they can only have them on set for, like, a certain amount of time, so I get why the Anointed One didn't have a whole lot of scenes, but they could've worked around it and not made the Anointed One a kid. They could've made it, like, maybe something else, an adult or something. I don't know. I just yeah, it's just, eh. I wish there was more to it, to that Anointed One storyline than what we got. Episode 6, we had the hyenas and stuff that I was talking about. The, oh gosh, what was the guy's name? The zookeeper guy, I can't think of what his name is right now, but he, I knew something was fishy with that guy when I first saw him because, I mean, why would you chain off something? And then he talked about how he brought the hyenas came over from, Africa, whatever, and he found out that they were weird and stuff, so he blocked them off and stuff like that. His greatest moment comes in season 2, episode 2. The Anointed One's greatest moment? I mean, that'd be kinda cool. That's cool. I can't wait to see what that is. Hopefully, it's good. Hopefully, it's better than what we got. Hopefully, in season 2, because I know the Anointed One is still around. Because I mean, the kid walked out and stuff, so I know he's still around, he's not dead. So, I figured the Anointed One is probably gonna be the big bad of season 2, is what I'm hoping. So, if his greatest moment comes in, season 2, episode 2, which means that might be the case that he is the big bad of the season, and maybe he actually starts doing things since the master's dead. That would be interesting to see. Can't wait. I can't wait to see that. Um, but yeah, I knew there's something fishy with the zookeeper guy, and I just didn't know quite what it was yet until the end when he came out with that like shaman face and everything. I was like, oh yeah, this guy's in on it. I was like, he's definitely like it made sense at that point then because I was like, why would the symbol already be on the ground and stuff? And the zookeeper kind of made me suspicious because of the zookeeper because of the symbol already on the ground. But then it kinda confirmed my suspicion whenever he came out with that, uh I dropped my pen, hold on a second. Oh, my pen. When he came out with that, shaman mask and stuff, um, that it kind of yeah. And then he got eaten by the hyenas, which I thought was funny, which I still don't understand really, because if you're possessed by the hyenas, why would they eat you? I mean, he took the power of the hyenas, right? From Xander and the rest of the bullies, and he got thrown with the hyenas. So why would the hyenas eat him? Because when the bullies and Xander were possessed by him, they sniffed each other, they knew each other's scent. But when the zookeeper took the power and got thrown over, the hyenas just killed him. So it's just like I wonder why that was, like why they didn't sense him as a hyena since he took that power. He should have had that scent as one. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking too far into it. I get it maybe for story reasons they had to get the villain to be defeated somehow. But there could have been a different way to do it. I just don't see how getting eaten by the hyenas made any sense. But I could be overthinking it. You know, I think into things, Susan. You see, that's what I do. That's with my computer, everything just starts shaking. That's with anything I watch. I overanalyze everything, and it's just how my brain operates. Because when I see something doesn't make sense, especially when it's like you see it differently in the episode already, and then it happens differently later on. It's like, wait a minute, but it's just I always ask the relevant questions. I don't know why. I just do. It's just how I do things, I guess. But yeah, I'll stop asking all those relevant questions about that because I don't really have anything else to say about that anyway. Other than it was just kind of a weird thing. And I feel like I'm missing something. Like knowing the hyenas, you are not overanalyzing. I don't know, it feels like I am. It feels like I'm like overstretching. It's like I don't know. It's just how I do things, I guess. Or how I feel about things. I don't know. But oh man, you have that was episode 2 or 6. I don't think there's anything else in episode 6. Oh, I did want to talk about how that the guy who was getting bullied and he kind of was showing up in the dodgeball. Why it only showed him. It showed him in the dodgeball. Like I thought, Mary Buffy or somebody was going to talk to him about what happened in the hyena thing, but no one never did. And then, of course, the Xander and the rest of the bullies turned on him and threw the dodgeballs at him. And the school teacher didn't say anything. Like I think it's against the rules in dodgeball to take a dodgeball and throw it at your own teammates. Just being too observably relevant. You know? Yeah, I am. I am. I watch a lot of horror things, a lot of slasher stuff. So, uh, like Scream and Halloween, Friday 13th. I've seen all that stuff, so I overanalyze everything in those movies. So I think that's probably just why my mind instantly just starts doing the overanalyzing and you know, asking all these questions. Um, and let's see. But yeah, I think it is against the rules in dodgeball to hit your own teammates with a dodgeball, and the fact that I can't find my speech just went all crazy. And the fact that the gym teacher allowed that to happen and didn't say anything, all he did is just sit back and go, "Man, I love this game. It's brutal." Is like, hmm, wow. Like, you just saw a guy get pummeled by his own teammates. That's definitely a clear sign of bullying right there. You didn't even step in or say anything or even help the guy out. Buffy ran over and helped him out, which automatically got her disqualified because she crossed the line, and so they won by cheating. But I don't know, man. It was just that scene was also a little crazy, a little out there. Maybe a teacher back then did that. The hated gym teacher who loves the violence. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely and the fact that he only shows up once in one episode and you never see him again. is kinda whacked. Like, there's a lot of people that only show up for once, and they're not even mentioned in another episode, so you never see them again or anything. It's like they're one and done, and that's it. That's why with Amy, I'm like, maybe she's just one of those one and done things, which I really hope not, because she was out of all of the characters in this show that we have seen, especially the side characters that come in once and then never again, Amy is, like, my favorite of all of them. Like, I liked her story more better than anybody else's. Um, and I think I missed Angel. I think Angel came in episode 5, maybe? I don't know, maybe not. But I do know Angel does come in episode 7, which we're moving on to, titled, Angel. That one was, I love that. You got the whole backstory of Angel pretty much. You find out that Delilah is the one that, you know, mouse. I like how you keep giving me mouse things. I don't know what that means. Does Amy have a pet mouse? I, I mean, that'd be kind of cool. It'd give me a Harry Potter vibes with with Juan Weasley having the mouse as a pet, which turned out to be a bad guy. Is that what's gonna happen? Does Amy have a pet mouse that turns out to be bad? That would be funny as hell. Uh, but yeah, with Angel and Darla, you have Darla that apparently is the maker of Angel. She is the one that turned Angel into a vampire. And Angel, you found out that Angel killed her and his entire family, which is kind of crazy. I don't know why he killed his entire family, but he killed his entire family. I hope they weren't very good people or something, because that would be horrible. And hopefully he just killed his mom and dad. Hopefully he didn't have no brothers or sisters, because that would be crazy. Um, but yeah, we found out Darla is the one that turned Angel into a vampire, and Angel and Darla used to date back in the day. They were together and did things, bad things together, when he was known as Angelus. And then eventually, Darla, I guess, is the one that got him. I guess is the one that got him the what's the word I'm looking for? The hip. Oh no, not that. Gosh. Um, Gypsy. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Gypsy. Angel found, you know, ate a girl who was a gypsy, and the rest of her family found out, and they put a curse on him and gave him his soul back, which then he got to live through everything he ever did, all the bad things he ever did, and he knows what he did, and he feels that pain and takes that with him. And of course, then I guess Darla leaves, or something happens. Like he leaves or Darla leaves. They split up because of it. I think, if I remember right, I think that was what was discussed. And then Darla went off to do her own thing, where Angelus became Angel and started, doing his own thing. And then all these years later, they meet up, they see each other again, and and then Darla's trying to get Angel to join up with the Master, and by doing so, she's trying to frame Angel into for Buffy to try to kill him, and which kind of worked in a way a little bit, because the fact she set him up by drinking Joyce's blood, and I wish Joyce would know that Buffy's a vampire slayer, so she doesn't like invite vampires into the house ever again. But I don't think that would ever happen. But Joyce let Darla into the house, her underneath the guise of being a school student going to help Buffy with homework, and then she bites into Joyce and almost kills Joyce. Throws Joyce at Angel when he comes in tries to save her, and then she leaves, and Buffy comes in right as she leaves and sees Angel holding Joyce, which puts uh she puts Joyce in sees Joyce in Angel's arms and puts and Joyce goes into this, or not Joyce, but Buffy goes into this whole vengeance mode because the fact she blamed Angel and thought Angel actually did it. So at the hospital, she was like, "Angel did it. I trusted him, and he whatever." And also this episode, we got the Buffy Angel kiss, which that was interesting. That I love seeing that. We got the Buffy Angel kiss. Regarding my hints, you have a long journey going to understand them, so no real spoilers there. Poor Joyce. Yeah, poor Joyce. And I have a long journey to understand the mouse thing. Well, shoot. Well, I can't wait to see what the heck the mouse thing is. So, nice tease, Susan. I can't wait. But yes, poor Joyce for sure, for sure. Joyce did not deserve the crap that happened to her in that episode. Uh, I think if Buffy was more real with her mother, she wouldn't that wouldn't have happened. Um, but yeah, and then Buffy decided to try to go and slay Angel because they found out that he used to be this bad vampire back in the day, and he just kind of went missing, and now everything else. And so Buffy goes to Angel's apartment, finds out that Angel lives in the oh brother, that Angel lives in this apartment above the bronze, and so she goes there and tries to kill Angel, which Angel and her fight a little bit, and then she finds out that it wasn't actually him and that it was Darla, because Darla comes in and then Buffy and Darla start fighting, and eventually, and the way that they started fighting though was weird because Darla was too scared that she didn't fight Buffy hand on hand. She used guns to try to shoot Buffy, and then she still failed. She still died. Like it was insane. And it was, I think, Angel that killed her too. So the fact that he killed his own maker is insane. It's crazy. I expected Buffy to kill her, but it was Angel that actually killed her to save Buffy, of all things. So it was pretty dope. I really enjoyed that scene. I really enjoyed the episode altogether. And this is the one where also the Master tries to teach the Anointed One how to fight and do stuff. Not Try to be a vampire, pretty much. And then Darla um, was trying to get the Master to give him to get her to take out Buffy, which he didn't want her to, but then decided to, I guess. I don't know, it was a whole weird thing that happened with that. Angel doesn't actually live above the bronze. Why they met there escapes me. Does he not live above the bronze? Because it showed her going to the bronze. Like she was in front of the bronze and then went on. I think she went into like a side door or whatever. So where does he live then? Because I know he has like some kind of apartment or something, like a little bitty studio apartment. I must have missed it because I really thought it was at the bronze, but like above the bronze or something, or next to it or something. Um, and then we had um, losing my train of thought. Um, I literally thought they were at the bronze. Now you got me thinking, Susan. You got me thinking. You got me thinking. Uh, but so yeah, and then Angel walked away from Buffy pretty much after the whole fight concluded because he realized that he can't be with Buffy and that they wouldn't work together. So he kind of walked away. And yeah, but Episode 7 was pretty good. It was loved the whole backstory that we got with Angel and finding out a little bit about him and stuff. Um, and with the master, you saw the master one again, the anointed one again. Darla died. Uh, I did mention in episode 2 that about the fight with Luke, didn't I? I didn't talk about that, but yeah, episode 2, the harvest with the with Luke's yeah, they weren't there, but we see his apartment later on, partially underground. You've got me there. Why they were at the bronze? Yes, this all happened at the bronze. Huh? That's weird. Yeah, that definitely is kind of weird. That is not his home. I guess that would make sense because why would he have an apartment above? Because I mean, there'd be windows and stuff, and he's a vampire, so he wouldn't like the sunlight. So you think he would be underground? That way the sun doesn't bother him. Huh. Um. But yeah, moving on to episode 8. Uh, gosh. Like the second half of this season really gets pretty good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it starts in episode 6, and then episode 7, and then episode 8's it kind of drops a little bit, but it's still a pretty good episode. Quoting Casablanca, "Everyone comes to the bronze." I don't understand why everyone goes to the bronze though. Like everything takes place at the bronze almost. And I guess I know it's like the hot spot, but it's like it's crazy to think about in a way. Like you only have a few things happening at the school and a few things outside in the cemetery and Buffy's house and stuff, but almost everything is at the bronze. You have more bronze scenes in these episodes than you do anything else. Uh, and then but episode 8 with the robot, with the demon Moloch the corruptor. He's a I love demon. I guess he tries to get everyone to love him, and if they do love him, he kills you. So I guess if you meet this love demon, don't love him because you'll die. He just snaps your neck. Uh, but yeah, he just wants everyone. He wants people to love him, and I guess it gives him power when he gets that love, and then he kills the people. It gives him like energy. I don't know. But all these priests back in the 1400s and stuff, they trapped him in a book, and the book I guess got somehow Giles got a hold of it, so it got shipped to him or something, and then uh, Willow scanned the book and put it into the um, computer. My ass. Put it into the computer, and when he put it into the computer, I guess since the computer read the book, everything came out. Like he came out of the book and into the computer, which you would think if being happened to get read, the book happened to get read for him to be released, you would have to think that someone would have to take the book and actually read it, right? Like read that strange dialect, not a computer reading it. I think it was kind of weird, but I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to do the whole computer thing because it was becoming a thing, which is pretty cool. I like seeing it, especially with the talk of Y2K stuff coming around at that time, with technology taking over the world and stuff like that. It was kind of interesting to see a demon inside the internet and computer. So it was pretty cool. And then Willow falling in love with Malcolm, which was actually the demon, and not knowing it was the demon, and talking long term relationships, which Buffy and Xander were like the only smart ones here. Like they knew, like, hey, you don't know what this person looks like and stuff, which was kind of cool. And to see that they're the only ones that actually trying to talk with her, like, hey, you don't know about this, and you shouldn't be doing this. It is the only spot in Sunnydale, the tiny town with 12 cemeteries, a hospital, a private school, a campus of University of California. Suspicion of disbelief required. You know what? Yeah, you gotta put on those suspenders. You gotta put on those suspenders of disbelief and move on, you know? I mean, I get it. It's a small town, so they probably don't have much. I don't even know what the, I don't I don't even know what the population of the town is. I don't think it was ever said. Um, and also in this episode, if you notice, I don't know if any of you guys in the chat noticed this. Yeah, it was definitely making a statement on current events at the time of the times, yeah. But this, fun episode, and I don't know if you ever saw this, but when Malcolm was hacking into the school computer and it popped up on the computer, on the principal computer, you saw that it was the, it said Buffy Summers, and then it said that her grade was sophomore, which, officially confirms what grade she is, because I didn't know what grade she was in until that happened. 'Cause I don't know if it was ever said before or if I missed it or what, but yeah, and it said she was a sophomore, and then when it cut to the next scene with the guy looking at the sheet, it said that she was a senior. I don't know if any of you guys caught that or not, and also her GPA, I think, changed. I don't know if any of you caught that, but that was a that was definitely caught that when I watched it. I was like, especially in my I don't know if I think I caught it when I watched it and I was like, "What in the world?" And then when I was editing the video, I like, paused it and I was like, "Was I going crazy or did I just imagine this?" And I paused it and no, you definitely can tell that it definitely switched. It was sophomore and then it was senior. So I don't know what happened there, but it's like they didn't know what grade she was actually supposed to be in. But I don't know if any of you actually caught that or not. Um, but yeah, and then Willow getting messed with by Malcolm and her falling in love, but then Malcolm actually messed up by saying that they did bring this whole her getting kicked out of school, dear. Oh dear, now you found it. The contradictions in Buffy's age. Yes, there is inconsistency. Right? There was. Like I saw that and I was like, what in the world? And then we find out in the last episode of the season that she's 16, so she's definitely a sophomore. So it's like they definitely went the sophomore route. It's it's like I don't know if they thought they were gonna get picked up for more seasons or not, so they so in case that they did, they had to be a her sophomore, and then I guess. And then if they didn't, it was I don't know what they were thinking and why the inconsistency was there with this, but I mean, like I said, they had 12 episodes they had to do this season, so there was definitely a lot of stuff that was rushed. So I don't think they really the writers or the directors or whoever did this, I don't think they quite grasped the age of what she was supposed to be. Um, but then Willow started distrusting Malcolm whenever he started talking about things he shouldn't have known, like on her permanent record, she got kicked out of school because she set fire to her gym and stuff like that, and she started trouble. In season one, Buffy is a sophomore. She was a Slayer in the previous movie camp and seemed to be older, but in retcon for the series was made to be a freshman for the movie. You know, I watched the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie a long time ago when I was a kid, and it was one of my favorite movies back then. I plan on watching it again as a watch party. I'm probably not gonna do like a reaction video to it or anything like that because I've already like watched it and stuff. But I'll probably will do it as a watch party though, and watch the movie whenever I can actually find it again. But they also, I only know that some things in that movie is actually canon, not the whole movie. The like movie in general is like that the whole thing is not canon, but like some of the parts in it was actually canon. But the people who made the show, they made a comic book series. Uh, Yay, watch party! Yeah, watch party! But they made a comic book series on Buffy's origin. So there's actually like a 3-volume comic book of Buffy's actual origin that is actually canon to Buffy the Vampire Slayer series, this show. I actually found this out when I was doing some research about the movie and stuff, of how canon it was and stuff like that. Because someone brought it in the comic section, brought up the movie at one point, so I was sitting there trying to, see how consistent the movie was with the series, and there's only a few parts that is, but the comic book is actually more consistent. It's actually the canon version of Buffy. Um, yeah, and there's also more comic book series of Buffy too, especially take place after the series ends and stuff like that too. But I don't know. Haven't looked too much into that because I don't want any spoilers. So I'm just I just know about the origin, which I do plan on probably doing something with the comic book origin stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna do it on YouTube or have it be like a Patreon kind of video. What kind of maybe read it and kind of react to the comic book itself. I don't know yet. I'm still kind of deciding on what to do with that. Um, but yeah, back to on topic with the show. Uh, on episode 8 here. But yeah, Willow started distrusting Malcolm, and so she logged off, went home, and of course the computer booted up, and then she got abducted by Finn, which was one of Malcolm's minions. And then we had Jesse from Fast and the Furious, I call him, because I don't really remember his name in the show, but I call him Jesse from the Fast and the Furious. He tried to kill he was told by Malcolm to take Buffy to the bathroom so she can, I guess, so Finn can kill her by electrocution. But he had second thoughts in which he told Buffy to watch out and save Buffy in a way. But he got hung. Malcolm killed him with Finn. Unfortunately, that guy never seems to have a break. He dies in the show. He dies in Fast and Furious. I mean, spoiler if you haven't seen the Fast and the Furious, I guess. But but yeah, and it's just that was a crazy scene. And then of course at the end when Malcolm gets put or into the robot body, and you had that whole conversation with Willow and him, and you found out that they're not found out, but you saw that Malcolm killed Finn, and then he still seemed to get power because Finn loved him. And then there was this random scientist guy or doctor or whatever heck he was, like just some random guy who had like one scene at the end of the movie. Like you never saw, or two, I guess, because you saw him, I guess, when Jesse uh, went to the warehouse to begin with, when Buffy followed him there, and then again at the end. It's just some random guy. Like I don't even know who this guy was, and then I don't even know if he like what happened to him after episode 8. Did he go to jail? I mean, did he die? I mean, I don't know what happened. 'Cause I know Xander like punched him and stuff and knocked him out, but I don't know. I'm just looking into things more. Susan, you're gonna get me for that. Just looking into more stuff, more questions. Uh, and then we had, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much really all we had in episode 8. There wasn't really too much to it, really. There wasn't too much of anything in episode 8, too much. Just more of up to date with the times and stuff like that. But then episode 9 is the puppet show, which my lands, I love this episode. I think it's in my top 3, which I'll go through all the rankings at the end of the video, but just your average rando, better than a Star Trek red shirt as far as potential longevity goes. Right, yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah, it's just your average rando. And there's probably gonna be a lot of randos during the series that I'm probably gonna be like, well, what happened to this guy? What happened to this guy? What happened to this person and that person? It'll probably happen a lot. Um, and so episode 9 with the puppet show. Episode 8 introduced the techno pagan. Oh yeah, thank you, media, for reminding me of this because I almost forgot about the techno pagan. Miss Calendar, I love her as a character. She came in, gave Giles all hell. Like he had, I think I just mispronounced his name again. My bad. But he gave all his, she gave her all into him, giving him all this crap about him being only in books and not liking the computers and stuff like that. Oh, great episodes got me past the creepiness of human dolls by him being so weirdly likable. Right, Susan? Yeah, I mean, episode 9 definitely did. If you have any kind of creepiness to dolls, it does kind of get you past it a little bit. But yes, Miss Calendar, I loved her, and I was happy to see her again in the final episode of the season. It was great, and I hope I see her more. Miss Calendar, Jenny, our resident techo pagan. Yeah, Miss Calendar. I love her. I really hope she's in the second season more. We only had her twice in the first season, but I really hope she's in the second one more. Uh, because I really loved her character, especially her reaction with Giles. Their reactions together is just it's just great. Um, but yeah, episode 9, with the doll, it kinda gave me a lot of Chucky vibes. I mean, I know that there was, like, movies and stuff before Chucky that had, like, possessed dolls and stuff, but the first, like, doll movie I ever watched was Chucky, was Child's Play. So that's the first thing that comes to mind when I see dolls possessed by things. I'm like, "That's Chucky." Like Annabelle, I'm like, "Oh," except for you don't see Annabelle, like, you don't hear the footprints of Annabelle running around and stuff like that. But with Chucky, you do, you hear the footprints and everything running around. And same thing with this, with the puppet show. The puppet, when he was in Buffy's room, you heard him running around like Chucky, and it was like, man, it gave me a lot of Chucky vibes. Which I thought he was going to be the bad guy of this episode, but he wasn't. He turned out to be the good guy. It was another one of those episode 3 moments when I'm like, what the heck? They got me again. Do I sense romance in the air? Oh, Susan, are you hinting at something? We're scared. Yeah, yeah. Yep, Susan. I am, yeah. I mean, I love Child's Play. I mean, that's why I love this episode so much because it put me in mind of Child's Play so much with Chucky and everything. It was great. But your comment was romance in the air with is that with, I guess with Miss Calendar and Giles? Is that are they oh, I never thought about that, they would really? Not I mean, I think I mentioned it before, but I don't think I ever really put too much effort into thinking about it, but if they actually do get together, that would be interesting. I mean, they do have kind of some good chemistry. Ooh, Susan, you got me thinking now. You got me thinking. You got me hyped. Don't do this to me because it's gonna be another Xander moment. It's gonna be another Xander moment, and this calendar's gonna tell Giles that she likes him, and Giles is gonna like turn her down, and I'm gonna be like, ah, again. Don't do this to me, Susan. But yeah, but it definitely gave me a lot. And then we found out that it was an actual a different person that was a demon who was taking hearts and brain. And the brain he took from the guy who had the puppet, he had brain cancer, so he was going to die anyway. So he had a bad brain and it wasn't good. So the little chat that they tried to do of trying to figure out who the demon was by someone not being there failed. And eventually we found out that the demon was the magician guy that we saw at the very beginning doing his magic tricks and throughout the entire episode doing his magic tricks, which I never actually thought twice about at all. Like, I never thought of that guy being the bad guy. I mean, I thought it was just some random dude. Because, I mean, you had some other random people that was there too. And then Cordelia in this episode, I know I haven't really talked about much about Cordelia because she hasn't really had much stuff to talk about. But Cordelia in this episode, um, I don't know what to really say too much. Her singing, bad. That's all I gotta say. Her singing, bad. She needs vocal lessons for sure. definitely needs vocal lessons. Um, but yeah, I really loved Sid the puppet. Sid the puppet was great, and finding out that he was a demon slayer, and he got the demons. There was 7 demons that put a curse on him that trapped him in a puppet body, and in all these years he's had to live in the puppet body trying to take down these demons. He took down 6 of them, but he was trying to find the last one so he can actually live in peace. Which I wish that they would have done it differently. I wish they would have had that Sid turn back into a human, and then Sid could have helped them out with demons and stuff. If more demons appeared and stuff like that, they could have went into having an actual demon hunter on their side. And it was just, oh, when Sid passed away, I was crushed. I was like, 'cause my dreams of seeing him in future episodes was just gone. The greatest love of all. What else would Cordy try to sing? You know, I don't know. Anything that she could have actually sung would have been good. I just don't think she wasn't that great of a singer. I think she should have done something else. I mean, she's a popular girl. You think she would do something that's crazy? Maybe, do a dance routine or something. I mean, she's a cheerleader, so do some cheerleader stuff. Learn to love yourself. It is the greatest love of all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess so. I guess so, Susan. I mean, it is. It is. You gotta love yourself before you can really love anything else, right? Um, but yeah, I really, really did love Sid. But him stabbing the demon though in the heart when he went up for that first stab and went down, I was like, yeah, he got him. And then when he pulled that knife up and you saw how weak he was getting, and then all of a sudden he went, ugh, and then leaned forward and it was just gone as he took his last breath when he went down. I was just like, man, sad. I really love Sid. But I do wonder what they did with the puppet. Where did they put the puppet at? Because Buffy grabbed the puppet and everything. So where did they put the puppet at? And the other thing is that when after that happened and Buffy did pick up the puppet, the curtains opened up and the entire audience and the principal was all sitting there like, "What the heck?" Like, I don't get it. And the principal was like, "I don't get it." And the audience just didn't know what to say. And I was like, "This is cool." Like, it was cool. It was like, holy moly. They didn't see what happened, but I was like, did they hear everything that happened? Charisma Carpenter really tried to sing by her own admission, but knew she couldn't, so it worked perfectly for the episode. She still laughs about it to this day. How did she? She actually sung by her own. I didn't know that. I mean, it did work perfectly for the episode, especially for her character, for sure. She still laughs about it to this day. I mean, I'm glad that she still takes time to think about this episode, like her scene in this episode of her singing, and still laughs about it. A lot of people don't. By the way, oh, BTY, what? What? BTY, that was a lyric from the song. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Man, I'm learning more from you, Susan. Learn more and more that I didn't even know about. Um, but yeah, episode 9 is pretty good. I don't know if there's anything else to really talk about with that. Episode 10, 10, 10, 10. That was the nightmare one, if I remember right. Yeah, that was the nightmare one. And with the nightmare one, we had that one was actually a pretty crazy episode, to be honest, because you had the nightmares. Everyone had their own like specific nightmares that they were afraid of. Like we found out that Giles was afraid of Buffy dying and him not being able to save her and stuff. and he like his nightmare was the graveyard and her grave and everything and her death, pretty much. Uh, Willow, of course, was stage fright, which we found out in episode 9, and I did forget to mention this, episode 9 at the end when they did the school play, Willow, like, ran off the stage because she was so scared, and Xander couldn't memorize his lines and everything, and it was such a funny, like, little end credit scene that they had for that episode, and that also got brought into the Nightmare episode where she was on the stage, she had to do opera and she couldn't, so she that was, like, her nightmare just in this her fear stage dream. One guy was afraid of spiders, so we had a bunch of spiders. Another person was afraid of uh, giant wasp or something because we had that towards the end of the episode was like giant wasp. Then we had a kid who that kid was actually afraid of learning to live yourself from the song. Oh, from the song. Okay, yeah, learn to live yourself from the song by Whitney Houston. I heard that song before. Beautiful. Google and listen to it. You might know it. Sorry, so many typos. Oh, you're good, Susan. I mean, I do typos too. If it wasn't for autocorrect, half my descriptions of my videos would be all typos because sometimes I get typing so fast that I usually, especially the summary, if like kind of like what happens in the episode and stuff. The rest of the stuff I usually copy from other ones and paste it, so I don't have to. But learn to love yourself. Yeah, I've heard that song before by Whitney Houston. It's a good one. OF spiders. Yeah, the freaking spiders, dude. I hate spiders. So when I saw like all these tarantulas coming out of the book and everything and crawling over this guy, I was just like, oh gosh. In my head, I was dreading it. I was dreading it every second of it. I was like, oh god. And then we saw the boy who is I don't know if he's controlling nightmares or if the nightmares are just happening around him or what, but he like apologizes for every time something happens. He's like, I'm sorry. And it's just I don't know, it's crazy. It is a crazy episode, um, especially what happened to Xander, because Xander, he had tons of things happen to him. Like, I don't even know what his fear was, because he had one scene, he had no clothes on. So he went to class naked pretty much, except for in his underwear. And then another scene, he was getting chased by a clown from his 6th birthday party while he's picking up all the candy. So it's like, I'm not really for sure, like, what his true fear was. You couldn't pay me enough to act that part. Well, it was kind of like a CGI, right? They added the spiders in. It's not like they actually put the spiders in the book when it was shut, and then him open up and they carve it out, right? I think he just opened the book and then started, like, acting like there were spiders coming out, and they kind of, like, CGI'd the spiders into it, right? I don't know, 'cause I don't know how well CGI was back then too much. I don't think they really had CGI back then too much. I mean, they had some. So I think it was. I think the spiders were just added. I don't think they were actually there, crawling on him and stuff. And Nazis, yeah, Xander has lots of fears. Yeah, because we saw the Nazi, symbols on the walls and stuff. Wait, the spiders were real? Hold on a second. Do what? Those were actual spiders? Holy crap, no. No, 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 I would not have spiders crawling on me for anything. Oh, no. Oh, no, no. Um, but yes, there's the symbols on the walls and stuff of that, and that you saw when he walked into the school. And I also found it funny that the school that they've been to for so long, they've gone to, I don't know, it was so freaky berry real. Oh my gosh. No one will pay me enough to have spiders on me. No. I don't care if I was making $1,000,000 off the episode. There's no way I would let you put spiders on me. Uh-uh. What if one of them actually bit you? It was a tarantulas. No, no, thank you. Uh, But yeah, Xander did have a lot of fears. And then the school when he went into, I don't know if he went into like a school a side of the school that they were trying to fix up or what happened there, or if the school was like someone's nightmare was the school was like closed down and being renovated or something. I don't know what was going on with the school and why there was plastic up everywhere, and there was symbols on the walls and stuff. So it was I don't know, it was something. And we saw Buffy, of course, was afraid of the master killing her. She had that nightmare at the beginning of the episode about that, and then we saw that in the cemetery when the master threw her in the grave and buried her alive, and she technically died. I guess I don't know how that worked. I don't think she died, but she came out as a vampire, which I guess she was afraid that she was a vampire. Which I don't know if the master killing her was her nightmare or what, but I don't know. Because I know she was afraid of becoming a vampire. Because that's Giles kind of said that. It was like I didn't know you were afraid of becoming a vampire. And I tell you, Angel, Buffy, when they turn into vampire, the faces they're just hideous looking. Those faces they're not good looking at all. Tarantulas are very unlikely to bite, but that doesn't make it better for me. I don't know about that. I've heard tarantulas bite a lot. I don't know. Maybe it's because they just. I don't know. Maybe it's because those tarantulas you go in the territory or something, they just bite you. I don't know. But I've heard things that tarantulas bite, and they can kill you. Within if you don't get to if you get bit by a tarantula and you don't get to a hospital within like I think a minute or two, you're dead. Um, but yeah, there was a lot, and then this world almost ended by nightmares, and Buffy as a vampire took down the bad guy. Giles was afraid Buffy. Did I say that wrong? I keep saying his name wrong. I don't know why I keep getting his name wrong. I was afraid Buffy would die. Buffy was afraid if being Buffy was afraid if of something. Oh my gosh, Buffy was afraid of being buried alive. Sarah Michelle Gellar's actual fear and to become a vampire. I did not. That's cool. I didn't know that was actually Sarah Michelle Gellar's actual fear. Did they tell her that she was gonna get buried alive? Did she know? Tarantula venom is unlikely to kill, and they seldom bite because it is against their better interest to waste venom. Huh. Interesting. I still don't like spiders, but that is good to know. So I don't have to be afraid of tarantulas too much then. I thought tarantula venom. I thought they'd kill you. I know, Susan. I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. It might take some time. I don't know why his name is so hard for me, but my brain just will not say it correctly. I guess I don't. I don't know. Why couldn't they give him a good name like Henry or something? That would have been easier to say. I'm just gonna start calling him Rupert. I think it'd just be easier for me just to call him Rupert. uh, man. So yeah, I mean, and Buffy as a vampire took down the actual big bad of the episode, which was like the boys' fear. I don't like them either, but I have worked to overcome my severe arachnophobia. I have that bad. Like I cannot stand spiders. I see a spider, it makes my skin crawl. I have to like either kill it or get away from it. Like my wife will like pick up spiders and take them outside and stuff if she can get to it, but me, they give me the creepies. I can't. I can't do it with spiders. Um, but yeah, Buffy took down the big bad, which was the boy's fear, which was apparently a manifestation of his coach, who we found out actually beat him. after a baseball game because he lost the game, and the coach blamed the boy for losing the game, which there's 8 other players on the team, so he shouldn't have been blamed, which was a fun little kind of thing that Buffy said to the kid and the kid said to the guy. And I'm glad he went to jail and stuff because he beat up a kid and put him in a hospital and made the cure for him. And this episode was weird because of the fact that one human, because he beat up a child, he almost caused the end of the world. He almost caused the end of the world because he beat up a kid, which is crazy to think about. But I really did like this episode. Seeing everyone's fears was amazing, and even saw Cordelia's fear in this episode of her being dragged into a chess club, and which I guess because she wasn't a chess person, so she got dragged into a chess club, and she's like, "I'm not what I please." Oh, it's like I don't even know how to play and stuff. Uh, and then her another fear was her bad hair. She had very, very bad hair because at the beginning of the episode, we learned that she really loves her hair because uh, the guy, the boy, I can't think of his name for some reason right now, but started in her light and she got all over him. And Xander was like, "Hey, you're not like you didn't know you're not supposed to stand in her light." Xander's funny in this episode. But it was a good episode. We learned a lot of things from each body for the fears and stuff, which I really did appreciate to see. It was pretty good. Episode 11 was gosh, that was only a few days ago, and I already forgot what that one was. Oh yeah, that was the Invisible Girl. The Invisible Girl. That one was it was an alright episode. I I like this episode because we saw another side of Cordelia. We saw her shell actually start breaking down. She started getting real with Buffy. She told her how alone she felt, and that she was popular because of the fact she didn't want to be alone by herself. She tried to become popular to get all those people around her, even though she doesn't think they actually like her. And then every time she talks, they don't she don't think they listen to her actually. They think they just agree with everything she says. And we kind of got that shell break with Cordelia, which made me actually appreciate Cordelia a lot more in this episode than the previous episodes that she just went around bullying Buffy and stuff and tried to make Buffy look bad and stuff like that. And I didn't like those episodes with Cordelia, but with the episode 11 and 12, I actually enjoyed Cordelia more. Rupert works, but I know Rupert works, but I now declare an ongoing joke of calling him Henry. Rupert works, but I now declare an ongoing joke of calling him Henry. All right, yeah, Henry. Oh man, I don't know about that. There's a few people in the comments that don't like it when I say his name wrong. So if I start calling him Henry, it might make them even more mad. So it'll be a joke between me and you, Susan. How about that? Me and you can joke about that. Uh, but yeah, episode 11 with the Cordelia, I appreciated Cordelia a lot more in this episode, and Buffy trying to help Cordelia out, trying to get the Invisible Woman away from her, and helping trying to actually be a friend to the Invisible Woman because she felt bad for her. Then she found out that she was just freaking nut, and because she found out she was a nut, then she decided to not do anything because I mean she almost killed her and Cordelia. Well, not really kill, but kind of disfigure Cordelia. I don't know what she planned on doing to Buffy. Maybe kill Buffy. I don't know, but she was going to disfigure Cordelia, and it was just this episode was definitely um, a Cordelia centered episode, which I actually enjoyed seeing. I loved seeing Cordelia in this episode. It was great, and I loved it, and I loved seeing this aspect of her. I know I'm talking a lot about Cordelia, but I really it was the highlight of the episode was Cordelia. To be honest, it really was. I have to give her the credit for this episode because it really was. Um, And then we had, so the Invisible Woman, of course, the fact that she was bullied and not bullied, but since she was being ignored even by the teachers ignored her, her friends ignored her, the, well, people she thought was friends, like Cordelia and the other people that she tried to get into the inner circle with, but wasn't working. They, ignored her. Other students didn't recognize her. Even we found out Xander and Willow didn't even really acknowledge her. And everyone in the school just wrote "Have a nice summer," which and everyone knows if someone writes "Have a nice summer," that means they don't have anything to say to you. And like what Xander said, it's the kiss of death. And I have a yearbook that has a few of those. It's like "Have a great summer" or "Have a good summer," and I'm like, really, you can't write something else? Like, I know what that means, and it sucks. When I write in people's yearbooks, I usually put, like, say, like, "Hey, it was great to hang out with you this year, or see you in classes and stuff. I hope you" then I'll say, "I hope you had a great summer." But yeah, if you are not seen, you are invisible, yeah. And the fact that she wasn't seen, and she was treated invisible to people, she actually became invisible. Even the teacher, I mean, her own teacher, like, didn't even acknowledge her. She had her hands raised in class and everything, and she kept picking other people. She never acknowledged her at all. And then because of that instance, she turned invisible. The teacher is what caused her to be invisible, to be honest. That was the final push. And then the fact of that since she became invisible, she learned all the secrets and stuff, so she knew Buffy was a slayer and stuff like that, because she even said it, like, "What are you gonna do, slay me?" at the end. So she knew that Buffy was a slayer and stuff. She probably knew about all the supernatural crap that was happening. But my main question about this is, where are her parents? Like, you would think her parents would have been out looking for her, trying to figure out where she went. Like, maybe they like, her parents should have showed up, like, once or twice in the episode trying to, like, maybe try to find her and stuff. Like, her parents was never mentioned. I think when I didn't catch it the first time, but the second when I was editing the video, my reaction video, I saw where they mentioned that there was a missing persons report on her. I didn't catch that the first when I actually watched the episode, but when I was doing the edit, I saw that and I was like, "Oh, well, that explained." Because I asked the question like the same question in the reaction, like, "Where's her parents? Like, why did her parents not report her missing and stuff?" But her parents probably did report her missing. But again, it's like, why would didn't they like come and talk to the principal? They should have had a scene with the principal and them talking. But again, Teen Angus and Abs struggles made manifest. Yeah, that is true. Like, because of all that, it manifested and she became invisible. And it's just it was crazy. It was crazy. But but yeah, it's like, where were the heck were her parents? There should have been at one scene in there, at least with the principal and her parents. I would have been happy with that. Then I wouldn't probably have had the question too much. But we did find out that I guess she had a missing person report on her. But we never saw cops or anything. And the principal in this episode was amazing. I like the fact that Buffy, when the guy at the beginning got attacked, uh, Mitch, when Mitch got attacked, and Buffy went to talk to him in front of the principal, and the principal was literally right next to him. And then talking about how a bat came up and beat him up and stuff by itself. And Buffy then started going into the back into the room, and then the principal was like, "Where are you going?" And then Buffy was like, "Oh, Mitch, he said he needed his uh whatever it was. I don't even remember what it was now. But he needed something, and I was like, the principal was right there. He heard the entire conversation, and you're lying straight to his face. Like, what again? What are you doing? And again, with the practices, where are the parents? How dare you ask such obvious questions? Or practicals. Susan, I knew you're gonna call me out on this stuff. I know it. I just know it, Susan. you just you're gonna call me out. I don't know. I don't know. I just yeah. The parents thing really got to me in this episode because I'm like, if my kid went missing, I would be out there trying to find him. I would have gone to the school. I would have been going through that entire school trying to find it. And the fact that she was hiding in the attic of the school or in the ceiling, not the attic, but like the ceiling of the school for God tell you how long. She had a bed and everything up there. I don't know how long it's been since she went invisible and how long she's actually been up there, but the fact that she went up there and was up there for so long, having a bed, a bear, a stand, like it was crazy. And then we had this episode we got introduced when Buffy escaped and then took down the Invisible Girl. We had these FBI agents come in, and you're gonna call me out on this too with obvious questions, but who are these guys? Like these ain't FBI. These are not FBI. I'm sorry. I know what FBI agents do. I have a friend that's in the FBI, and this is not one of them. They would not take people. I mean, FBI mostly is high profile cases and stuff like that that the cops can't like serial killers usually they do stuff with, especially if it's like a serial killer that crosses state lines and countries and stuff like that, then the FBI gets involved. Or not really the countries, I don't think too much, but like if a serial killer kills somewhere and then they cross state lines, that's when the FBI usually gets involved with those type of things. But like cults, child rings and stuff like that, kidnappings, human trafficking and stuff like that. FBI is usually the ones that's in on all that stuff. They're not going to take somebody that's supernatural in nature and put them in a place and teach them how to be an assassin because that's what they're doing to all these invisible people. They took them, put them in a classroom together, and they open up a book, and it's about assassination and infiltration. The FBI is not going to do that. It's that's more like high level CIA or some kind of other high level government agency. That is not the FBI. So when they said FBI, I was like, no. That's like these people ain't FBI. They're not. There's no freaking way. No way that they're FBI agents. And uh but yeah, I mean, I don't know who they are. I mean, I hope it gets explained sometime in the future, maybe. I don't know if this is gonna be another one of those like episode 4 things with the eggs, where it's like they show that this happens and they don't ever pick this storyline back up with the invisible people or with these FBI people. Uh, so I really hope that does continue in the future. Maybe I don't know. We shall see. We shall see what happens there. Um, but yeah, with episode 11, it was all right. Yeah, don't think I really have much left to say there. But episode 12, the season finale, there's. It took me pretty much since I uploaded the video this morning. Uh, when the video went out this morning, it took. Well, technically, recorded the video like a few days ago, but I got it finished editing this morning and got it up. But it took me all this time to kind of sit there and FBI, CIA, DNI, NSA, ODNI, name your agency and choose the mildest to blame. I don't think it would be CIA really. I mean, I don't know what DNI DNI. I don't know what DNI ODNI is. I know what NSA is. Could be NSA. I don't know. It's something. It ain't FBI. I know that. And if it is, then I don't know what the heck they're doing. Um, but episode 12, man, it took me a long time to actually sit there and think about a few days to sit here and think about what to really to process this episode. And all I can say is, holy crap, this episode was insane. The only thing in this episode I didn't really like is when Xander, of course, said the things that he said to Buffy when he expressed his love for her and then she rejected him. I know he doesn't take rejection well, but he should have been better about it in a way. I mean, Buffy is his friend after all. So it's not like it's a girl that you've had a crush on for a long time and that rejected you that you're like not friends with. You're like, well, crap, well, screw you or whatever. But this was Buffy. This was like a good friend to his, and he like went off on her and said all these mean, harsh things to her, which he shouldn't have said. He should have been better about it. Which a lot of people in the comments kind of agree with. Actually said kind of said this that I agreed with. But he does owe Buffy an apology, and I really hope we get that apology in the beginning of the next episode. Hopefully, director of National Intelligence, they the agents picked FBI to make it seem wild. Yeah, I think they picked the FBI just to make it seem yeah, to seem wild, like you said. And I think, like I said, I don't think it was FBI. I think there's something else, but they did like have those fake badges for the FBI to make it to make you think it was the FBI, but it really wasn't. And I hope we find out in the future who they actually were. Uh, but yeah, I think I think he does, and I hope we do get that apology and maybe at the beginning of the next season, or we might not, but I really hope so. Because I hope they didn't treat with Xander bringing Buffy back to life from her drowning as an apology, because that doesn't count as one. But it also makes me wonder if Buffy sees Xander in a new different light because of the fact that he saved her and he was rubbing her head and everything, and she was the first person that she saw when she opened her eyes. She didn't see Angel standing there. She saw Xander, and she even said Xander's name. So it makes me wonder if she's gonna see Xander in a whole new light, and maybe they get together. It probably won't last, but maybe for like a couple episodes they get together or something, or maybe like half the season or whatever. I don't know. I have a lot of theories about season two. Yep, they were a higher agency as far as I think. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad Susan got my back on this. I'm glad. I'm glad you got my back on this season because there's some people that on the comics that didn't. Um, but I just I don't know. I hope we get something good. With that, and Angel helped out Xander. I like how Xander got Angel's help and told Angel that he doesn't like him. He pretty much sees him as a vampire and that's it, not as a friend. I hope that they actually become. I actually hope they become brothers in a way. Like I hope they become best friends. That they kind of see each other as brothers. Like I know that Xander doesn't like him now, but I hope that maybe in the future Xander and Angel grow to like respect one another, and as they respect each other, they become best friends, and maybe they see each other as brothers, and they become practically brothers, and do like each other and stuff. I think that would be very interesting to see. Would that happen? Who knows? I want to see it. It might take a few seasons, but we might get there. Um, and we also saw Cordelia in this episode that helped out towards the end of the episode again with the vampires and stuff. And then she automatically knew. I guess at the end of the episode, we found out that Cordelia knew that Buffy was a vampire slayer or something, or that she slayed vampires, or vampires existed, or something along the lines. Like she knew vampires existed. She knew about the master. Apparently, she wasn't even shocked by any of it. I thought I was losing my mind there when I saw that, and I thought for sure that I missed something. So I was literally going back through some of the episodes of like seeing like what did I miss? But I don't. From what I saw, there's nothing ever mentioned about Cordelia like finding out. I know that she almost died by Luke in episode 2 because she was supposed to be a sacrifice. And so we get to um, yeah, Luke trying to take out Cordelia episode 2, and she escapes that, of course, but she doesn't. She thought she even said that it was like a gang. She thought it was a gang. Okay, now I can't wait for you to get to season 2, episode 1. Ouch. Episode 2, LOL. Season 2, episode 1. Ouch. Episode 2, LOL. Ouch. We really get going to bigger and better after about episode 5. Glad to catch a new watcher at the beginning of the journey. And Susan, I'm glad to have you here. I really am excited to have you onto the journey of me watching uh the entire series of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I do know Angel has his own spin-off show. I will also be doing Angel when we get to that point. So we'll be watching both those shows. The sad part is I've seen Angel before back when I was a kid, but I don't remember much about it. The only thing I really recall from the Angel show was that Angel was a vampire. Like I already knew that going into this that he was a vampire, so that didn't really wasn't surprising to me too much that he was a vampire. But I knew that he was a vampire, and that eventually he leaves the Buffy show, and I don't know why he left the Buffy show, but I do plan on revisiting Angel though when I along with this watch. So yeah, it's gonna be a bumpy road because once we do get to the Angel, I'm gonna be going back and forth like how it's supposed to be on like actual TV and stuff. So I'll be going back and forth. So it's gonna be interesting for sure when we get there. Hang on to your emotions. It's going to be a bumpy 6 seasons. Yeah, 6 seasons plus I think 5 seasons of Angel, 5 or 6 seasons of Angels. I don't really remember how many seasons there was of that show. But yeah, and then things to come. Yeah, things to come. Things to come for sure. I can't wait for for it. But yeah, with episode 12, there was a lot of cool things in this episode. Like Buffy killed the master, and when she died, she came back and she felt different, right? So how does she feel different? Does she feel different because she embraced her Slayer side now because she fulfilled a prophecy, so she got stronger, or did something else happen when she died? Like I don't, because she did technically die, right? So if she technically died and she came back, my question is she still a Slayer, or is there a new Slayer that gets called? Because she did technically die. So I'm on the fence about that. Like I don't know how that plays out. I don't know if she's how she feels different or what. But yeah, and the theme music they played when she was walking back to the school and stuff was sick. It was like the kind of the intro song theme when they're doing the credits and stuff of the characters, which was pretty cool. I liked it. I liked the nod, but apparently it was a nod because someone said in the comments it was because of her embracing her Slayer, which I didn't even think of. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. Angel, not great, but worth at least one rewatch. Lots of great Buffyverse lore. You will not regret watching, will, except when you will curse JW. Yeah, there's probably gonna be some things in here I'm gonna buy. Like episode 12 really it got to me in a little bit. There was a few scenes that I was tearing up and stuff. Like I was like, please don't cry on camera, please don't cry on camera. Because I'm not a crier, but there was a few things on here I was tearing up on a little bit, and it was just yes, she died. You will discover results as you continue your journey. So she did die. Okay. Uh, I am curious though. I am curious on how that is going to play out. But if she died, how did she come back? That's what I don't understand. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing. I guess we'll find out when we get into season 2. Hopefully they talk more about it and going into it more. And then we have but yeah, she gets to the school, she gets up there and talks to the master, and the master tries to do his, like, hypnosis thing to her, but I guess she's acting like she got hypnotized, but she didn't, and she walks up to him to get close to him, and then she pretty much gets it gets in position enough to throw him over into the glass down into the ground on this like table that broke up, so he penetrated himself and died. Crying during Buffy, not in any way a shame, even on camera. I'm not a crier, so I just CPR is a wonderful thing. CPR is definitely a wonderful thing. So I guess she did die, but then the CPR brought her back. So I guess I don't. It's a weird thing. I don't know. It's biology. I'm not a science major or anything, so I'm not gonna sit there and say how that works one way or another. It's TV, right? TV magic. That's what I say. Um, but yeah, no, yeah, I definitely got teary eyed during it, especially with the scene with guy with with Henry and Buffy. The scene between them with her going off on him and throwing the books at him and stuff, and saying that he's not helpful and where his helpfulness is at and stuff like that. And Angel trying to like be there for Buffy, but Buffy doesn't want Angel at that point, and because she's just too upset. And it was that was one scene that I was just like, man, it got to me. It really did. And then Buffy dying, of course. Suspicion of disbelief, LL. Yeah, yeah, suspicion of disbelief. That's another thing you gotta put on those suspenders. You gotta just strap on those suspenders of disbelief and move it on. Um, and yeah, it was just this episode. It really it got to me in a lot of places. The thing between Buffy and Joyce got to me. I mean, Buffy trying to like spend time with Joyce and Joyce, choosing her work instead of spending time with her daughter. That got to me. Of course, Buffy at the end dying. I was like, wait, she actually died? And I mean, I knew Buffy probably wouldn't die because there's more seasons of the show. It wouldn't be called Buffy the Vampire Slayer if she wasn't gonna be in the rest of the series, right? They wouldn't kill the main character off the beginning and be someone else for the rest of the Buffy. They wouldn't make sense. So I was like, she ain't gonna die. There's no way she's gonna die. Now, if it was like if I didn't know there was other seasons, then I would be like, oh, like when the show first came out, that episode first came out, and if you're watching it, you knew Buffy was gonna die. You're like, oh, is this where the show ends? Is this little mini series? And Buffy's gonna die? But yeah, no, it was a good episode. I mean, it was a very very great episode. A lot of good things in it, especially with Cordelia. I wish there was a scene in the episode. If Cordelia does know that Buffy is a vampire slayer, I do wish in the episode there was a scene between Cordelia and Buffy that Cordelia found out that Buffy was a vampire slayer, and maybe she got surprised, and maybe all together there when Cordelia was in the library with them, and she was like, "Why is there was a man? What happened? Why is he just now bones? What's with all those things outside?" Something like that, and then they all turn to her and be like, "Well, those are vampires, dear." And that was the master of the vampires, and he died. And when they die, they turn into bones and dust. But the fact that they left his bones in the school and then they all went out to a dance is hilarious to me. Because how in the world does that happen? What is the principal going to see when they come in? He's going to think it's a stunt, right? Couldn't come in and see bones. You're going to be like, what the hell is Rupert doing? I don't know. And then we had the Hellmouth, the creature. Oh, this creature. I don't know. Maybe Susan. Maybe you can tell me this because I really don't know. But is the creature, was it the Hellmouth itself, or was that a demon or monster of the Hellmouth? Because I really don't know what it was supposed to be. Because I know Rupert said at one point that it was the Hellmouth. Uh, both expect and regret some of what you wish for in Buffyverse. Both expect and regret some of what you wish for in Buffyverse. Oh, brother. I bet you there's a lot of things I'm expecting that won't happen, and a lot of things that I'm gonna regret will probably happen. Uh, But yeah, maybe like you or somebody else in the chat will tell me this, but like I don't know if it was the actual if that creature was the actual Hellmouth or if it was a demon or monster at the Hellmouth. But yeah, and yeah, this episode was definitely fantastic. It was definitely a fantastic episode, and yeah, man, don't think I have. Seriously, I want to know what the rest of the Venus flytrap demon looks like. You know, I really, really would like to have seen the rest of it. Like it had like these tentacles that came out and went wrapped around uh, Willow and tried to drag her down and everything, and attacked Rupert and knocked him onto a table and stuff. But I really would like to have seen what the rest of it looked like. Like, was it just a big plant thing, or did it have actual legs or something? Could it walk? Like, I would love to have seen the rest of the design for that. Um, the car scene in episode 12 was awesome, with Cordelia driving through the school in the car, going through the doors and stuff. I don't know what the principal is going to think when he sees the car inside the school with the doors broken down and the skeleton in the library and the earthquake that tore up the library. Like they're definitely going to have to like renovate the school now for sure. To answer you, but spoilerly, that is a minor thing that Hellmouth has to offer. I don't think that's really too spoilerly, but a minor thing the Hellmouth. So it wasn't the Hellmouth. So that creature wasn't the like manifestation of the Hellmouth. It was just it came from the Hellmouth. I'm kind of curious of what the Hellmouth has to offer now. Seeing that thing. I hope there's more hideous things in the future. Um, but yeah, I think that's all that I really liked and disliked about the season. Really, that I've kind of talked through each episode there. Uh, everyone in the chat, go ahead. I mean, if you want, you can go ahead and tell me what your guys' favorite moments were, or not favorite moments were, or favorite characters are, or anything that I missed that you guys want to talk about. Just let me know, and we can dive into it. But I think I'm going to go ahead and give my rankings uh, of each episode now. I'm going to start in 12th place. Um, so 12th place, this episode, like I said earlier, it was the worst one in the season for me. I probably don't give it enough credit, but I also didn't really like it too much. There was only a few things in it that was actually pretty cool. It's probably if I ever like rewatched the show ever again, I would probably skip this episode because it didn't really offer anything except for like the introduction to the Anointed One. But I did put episode 5. Uh, oh crud. Episode 5 is um Never Kill. I think it was. What was I'm trying to remember the title of it. Was it Never Kill a Boy on the First Date? I think it was. Um, and that one, it just didn't do much for me. I didn't really care for that episode at all. And I don't know if anybody else would put that in their 12th place. Like you guys can also tell me your guys' rankings too, there if you want. But yeah, I definitely put 5 in 12th place for sure. Favorite moments are what us to come. Uh, favorite moments. What do you mean by that? You talking about the favorite moments? Favorite moments are what is to come. Is that what you meant? So you didn't like anything? Like you didn't have like a favorite moment in season 1? Um, and then yeah, that's my 12th place is 5th episode. 11th place, I put uh this episode that I put here was it wasn't I liked it the first half of the season. I liked, and it was probably in the top 3 for the first half of the season, the first 6 episodes. But then it kind of got moved back and got put in the 11th place because the second half of the season was better by a lot. And so I put episode 4, Teacher's Pet, into the 11th place spot. Um, I think it was better than episode 5, but I think it was worse than a lot of different other episodes that we've had. Season 1 was very good. What is to come is exceptional. Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, season 1 was definitely was good. Season 1 was pretty much the introduction to the characters, to Buffy, to the universe, to what kind of supernatural creatures that is is here and what we could have in the future. And it was mostly kind of like the introduction to a lot of things. And Buffy eventually come to terms of being the Slayer and stuff, and embracing that role. Um, but yeah, I can't wait to see what the rest of it is. I hope it is exceptional. Episode 10. Number 10. This episode I did like. It's in the second half of the season, and I did like, but I don't think it was good enough to make it to the top 5, let alone the top 3. Um, but I did like the aspect of the computers and stuff, and bringing all that into the episodes, and with everything going on with the times and stuff like that. But the episode itself wasn't really that great, to be honest. Had a few great moments, but the episode in general and whole just wasn't as good as I would like it to be. It was definitely better than the praying mantis and the boyfriend thing. So it's why I put it in 10th. I put episode 8, uh, iRobot Eugene, in 10th place. Uh, episode 9, not episode 9, but number 9, I put this episode I put here. It was uh it was better than the other 3 that I said, but it wasn't as, and I really did enjoy this for the first half of the season, but I didn't really enjoy it as much. I mean, it had a lot of good moments, like I talked about. It had a lot of surprising moments and stuff with it that I didn't expect, and I probably would have put this further up in the list. Um, I probably would have put it in the top 5 if the other episodes didn't like really outbeat this in different ways, with either character development or the story or something else, or the creature or whatever. But I did put and for ninth place I did put episode 3, Witch, and number 8. This one, uh, it was it was definitely a little hard to place this one in this spot, because I thought about putting this in ninth place instead and putting episode 3 in eighth place, but I think this episode was a little better than the third one because it had more Cordelia's story into it that I really enjoyed. Um, but I did like Amy in episode 3, which these two, in my honest opinion, would probably tie for the same thing. But since I'm not really doing ties, I just kind of, but they could kind of go either way. But I did put for number for number 8, I did put uh, episode 11, which was called gosh, Out of Mind, Out of Sight, I believe, with the Invisible Girl. So I did put that for eighth place. For seventh place, this episode is in the first half of the season, and it was good. I had a lot of good moments, and got a little bit. It was kind of like towards the opener, and I liked the bronze fight with Luke and Buffy fighting at the bronze, and Buffy killing Luke at the bronze, and everyone really not seeing the vampires and not ever questioning what the heck they were. That was at the bronze, and but yeah, it was a good one. It was a good episode, but I did put it in seventh place for different types of reasons. But I did put episode two, The Harvest, in seventh place. In sixth place, I put. A lot of people probably won't agree with this with my list, but I did put it in sixth place. A lot of people probably would put this probably in the top five, probably the top three. But me, it made it almost the top five, but it got into sixth place because it was a good opener. It was a good pilot to the season, and it opened up, showed you the characters. I really loved seeing, Xander hitting his head on the railing when he saw Buffy, and it had a lot of funny moments and stuff. It showed you what the show was going to pretty much be about, and gave you a lot of insight to the world and stuff. That's why it was better than all the other episodes I've already named, but it wasn't as great as the ones I actually did thoroughly really enjoyed. But I did put in sixth place. Um, I did put in sixth place episode one, Welcome to the Hellmouth, and for fifth place, this episode was definitely one of my top five favorites of the season. Um, it was I when I first saw this episode, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Other episodes, of course, beat it out since I've watched it. Like I knew that was probably gonna happen when I watched it, but at the time, it was by far my favorite of the season. But I really enjoyed it, especially with the hyenas and stuff like that, and Xander becoming the bad boy, and seeing a different side to Xander, and the and everything else. Even though with the questions I had for it, I still was in my top five, but I did put for my fifth place, I put episode six, The Pact, in the fifth place. For number four, I put this episode in it because of the fact of we had it was a great story, great backstory for a character, and it had some great fight scenes. We got to get a little bit more on, and we got a kiss, of course. And we got a little bit more on Angel's backstory and stuff, and of course we got the kiss that we've all kind of been waiting for between Angel and Buffy since they kind of had that chemistry together earlier in the season. Even though I wished it was Xander and Buffy, but that's never going to happen. And I've put that to bed now, and I hope Xander can put that to bed too. But I did put in fourth place episode seven, Angel, because it was definitely in the top four for me. In third place, I really enjoyed this episode because of Sid. Sid did this episode for me. If we didn't have Sid, if it was just them at a talent show trying to figure out who a demon was or who this demon was that was taking hearts and brains and stuff like that, it probably would have been all the way in 11th place or whatever. But because of Sid and the comedy aspect of it, and how much I appreciated Sid and the hunter aspect, and the fact that it was just a hoot, and I had fun with the episode, and I even loved editing this episode. I actually enjoyed and loved doing that. I love editing all my episodes, but number nine I took a lot more joy in. Um, but I definitely did love this episode for sure. So that's why it's definitely in the top three. It had to be in the top three. So in third place, I put episode nine, Puppet Show. Um, in second place, I put this episode in second place because of the fact of it had a lot of great moments. We learned a lot of wonderful things from the characters. We learned about every character's fears and what they had and what they enjoyed and what they what they were afraid of in life. Is just I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Um, like what their nightmares are and stuff like that coming to life and them having to face it. Like Xander had to face his fear of the clown, which he did when he knocked out the clown. Um, he kind of faced his fear there, and there's a lot of good aspects about this episode that I actually loved and enjoyed, and it kind of outdid episode 9 for me. So I had to put this in second place. So I put episode 10, Nightmares, in second. And in first place, last but not least, this episode was the best episode in the season by far. With Buffy killing the Master, with Xander expressing his feelings to Buffy, even though he didn't take it right and do the right thing. But the fact that he expressed his feelings, he put his heart on his sleeve to Buffy, and Willow and Cordelia kind of becoming friends a little bit, like talking to each other, going to that classroom where they found the dead bodies, and the clear as day handprint on the TV that they could clearly see at the door, but they didn't, I guess, see it. And how did they not see the bloody handprint? I always wondered that too, but I'm not gonna go dive too much into that. But that's just nitpicking it. I'm not gonna nitpick too much, but I actually did really enjoy this, and it's my favorite episode of season 1 by far. Uh, it's better than any of the other episodes, unfortunately. Um, so I put for my first place, I put episode 12, Prophecy Girl. Uh, God, put episode 12, Prophecy Girl, and that's my top favorite episode of the season. Um, so those in the comments, what was yours? What's your? Do you agree with that, or do you have your own kind of like list? And if so, like, what was your favorite episode of the season, or what is your rankings of each episode? I'd like to. I would love to know to see how many people are on the same side, or what. um, but yeah, I mean, with the rankings here, the character wise, I love Xander, even though he messed up a lot during the final episode with Buffy and Willow, and probably made a lot of people not like him was with stuff he did. But I still like Xander. I hope his character develops more in the seasons to come. Hopefully, he's not simping anymore for Buffy. I'm hoping Buffy, not Buffy, but Xander and Willow become a thing. I'm actually shooting for that now more. And of course, I think Buffy and Angel are going to get together because I think they're pushing that way. Uh, Looking forward to season 2 reviews. You might not totally agree with your placements, but mostly do and support your rankings. You have nowhere to go up and join depression occasionally from here. Your tops I agree with. Oh, so you do agree with the top 3. Looking forward to season 2 reviews. See you around, my friend. Yeah, I will. Thank you for joining in, Susan. I'm probably gonna wrap up here because I don't really have anything else to really talk about. But thank you for joining in. I really means a lot, and for you to support and be here. Hopefully, yeah, stick tuned for season 2 reviews. I, yeah, Xander as badly Melange, but he does earn it at times while being the little hard Scoobies. Yeah. Oh, before I do go, I do want to give my predictions for season 2 though. I think Angel and Buffy are gonna get together. Maybe. Oh, you're good. You're good, Susan. I think uh I think Xander and Buffy might get to or not Xander. Angel and Buffy might get together. It could take longer. I have no freaking clue, uh, but the way they're going, they might. It might take a while. It might not even be season 2. Maybe it's in season 3 or something. I don't know, but I think they're gonna eventually get together. Or maybe they start to kind of get closer to each other. I think that's what I'm gonna say. So season 2, they're gonna get closer to each other. kind of grow a little bit closer. And then I'm predicting that Xander might finally fall out of love with Buffy and see like Willow is there and start maybe they get together and start dating. That would be because they have a lot of chemistry. And then thanks to you, Susan, you're kind of getting my hopes up for Miss Calendar and Rupert to get together. So I'm definitely gonna say that that might happen in season two. Um, I'm hoping. I'm really freaking hoping. I want to see that because that would be cool. I think Rupert deserves to have somebody. And I think the big bad is probably going to be the Anointed One because the fact he's still around and still alive. So I think he's going to take up more control and do some things and probably get revenge on Buffy since he killed the Master. And then I think that uh, Xander, Willow, and Cordelia are going to help Buffy, or Xander and Willow is definitely going to continue helping Buffy out a lot. But I think Cordelia, since she now knows about Buffy, I think she's going to join in with this, with the Scoobies that you call, which I kind of like the name, the Scooby Gang. She had a Scooby Doo shirt. I see what she did there, Susan. Uh, but I would like to see that, and I think that would be very interesting to see if Cordelia starts helping out with the stuff, and they kind of get a friendship going. And I think we'll probably get a little bit more backstory with Angel, maybe. I'm hoping to. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I'm gonna predict for season 2, because that's really all I can think of right now. But yeah, I can't wait to get into the season 2 reviews and stuff. I will be the season 2 episode 1 reaction probably won't be out for at least a couple weeks, unfortunately, because I'll be going out of town on vacation, and I'm going to not be able to do anything like recording and stuff for a while. For at least 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half. I don't know. So you're gonna have to hang in tight, and but there will definitely be season 2 coming. I'm really really excited for it, and also give time for people to catch up that haven't caught up to my season 1 stuff yet. But yeah, it might be a week or two, but we are definitely going to get into it, and I hope you guys will enjoy season 2 as much as I hope I will enjoy season 2. But with that, I think that's going to wrap up the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching and staying into the stream with me and talking about Buffy. Hopefully, the season 2 end review that I do, I can have somebody join in with me. I'll try to get one of my Patreons, or not Patreons, but one of my subscribers or something to join in and talk with me on screen about the season and stuff. Um, I planned on doing it for season 1, but I didn't really get it out there in time, so no one really quite saw. But I did wanted to do it, but I never got around to it. So, but hopefully, season 2 review and rankings that we can definitely do that, and we can go into it a lot more. But yeah, with that, that's all I have to say. We have some social media. So if you want to follow my Instagram, Twitter, and my TikTok, it's in the description of my channel above, and it's also in the description down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Buffy the Vampire Slayer to come. And I also, before I go, have a Patreon. If you want to join and support the channel, you can go over to the Patreon, and it's also in the description above and the channel and down below. If you want to support the channel, you can go over there. Uh, each tier gives you different benefits and perks, uh, and there's full reaction videos over there. So if you like my season 1 reactions, you can go over to the Patreon, and if you choose the right tier, then it'll take you have access to episode 1 through 12. Episode 12 will be out tomorrow night on Patreon, but episode 1 and 11 is actually I think it's episode 1 through 9 right now. But I plan on putting 10 and 11 on there soon, and then 12 will be out on there tomorrow night. So hopefully you guys will enjoy those. If you do want to do that, it means a lot to me, and I thank everyone for the support and love that they give me. And yeah, but I think that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm done talking. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.